Hello, we are the artists who are known as M+R. I'm Neil.
And I'm Jono.
We've been working together since 2012 as artists, full-time artists, making really big-scale, site-specific work.
So that's our job, isn't it? That's what we do all the time.
That is our job.
Yeah, we're artists.
When people say, what do you do for a living? That's what it is.
Yeah.
We're artists. And I suppose that what our job is to provoke and challenge people.
Yeah, well, you asked me the other day what I felt the job of an artist was.
I did.
Yeah, and I felt that it was about making things that changed and challenged the way people perceived the world around them.
Yeah, this is good. Lots of people think that art is just the process of creating the artwork, but it's actually the process of how you engage with people. So in other words, if you do a painting, the question is, how does somebody respond to it? So that's where being an artist isn't just about making something, it's about asking something.
Yeah.
There are many, many different ways of being an artist. And remember, you can also be an artist in theatre and in music. It's not just about the things that people
We focus on visual arts, don't we? Yeah.
Sculpture,
Yeah.
painting.
Absolutely.
We do visual art. So what does it involve? Well, it involves looking for an opportunity to create something visual. For us, it's a collaborative process. Maybe you want to talk about that because that's unusual.
Yeah.
We are unusual.
Yeah, so we are unusual. I think most artists are unusual, which is good. It's one of the prerequisites for being an artist. And what we've discovered ourselves is the joy of working in partnerships, working with another artist. There's a dynamic in working together and learning from each other, seeing how each other works and thinks. That's really interesting. And certainly when you're engaging with other people, as a single person, you have a very specific and unique perspective, but when you work with someone else, that can be challenged, which is a really exciting, interesting place to be. And it means the work is, for you as an artist, surprising as well. It's not all, in stone, and it can be quite fluid.
Yeah.
It has to be, because it's shared experience. So, for example, on this project that we've just worked on, Holden's Heritage,
Celebrating Holden's
heritage. What that involved was engaging with lots of people, but then making castings out of sand with bonded resin and gas. It involved making rope with a 200-year-old rope making machine, and it involved going and working with an artisanal cheesemaker and making 45 full-size cheeses and exhibiting them as art. So that's not normal, but it completely is normal.
Now, here's the really interesting thing about what we did, is that we didn't know what we were going to do
when we started out.
That's
right.
Now, this is really important because part of being an artist and that job description and what that involves is that you have an idea, but you don't necessarily know what that idea looks like. You know what the idea is.
Yeah.
So in this case, the idea was to explore the heritage of Halton and to turn that into an experience for other people. But what that was, we didn't know. We had no idea we'd end up making cheese. Why would you think that? So it takes quite a brave commissioner sometimes to take us on, because they have to accept that the work will come from our research once we've got the job.
It's not always clear when we start exactly how it's going to look at the end. And that, often when you're working with design sheets and you're in an educational environment, it's expected that you go down a process of showing and improving what you're going to do before you do it. But often with the artistic approach, the work gets explored in the process of making it. So actually part of the art making is the exploration.
I love the fact that we are constantly exploring something new. There's no repetition in what we do, apart from our ideas, which we keep repeating.
Yes, I love that and hate that.
Yes, I know.
Because it's always, oh my gosh, will it work out? Will it be okay?
Yeah.
But that is equally exciting. So it's, I think I agree. I like the roller coaster. No,
No, nor me.
I think I always knew I was. It was just there. I always had to make things. That was really important to me. So I remember when I was at school, we had a project where we had to draw fish, and everyone finished in their lesson. They drew the fish, and I didn't. I made one, and it had to have textured scales. So I made a whole load of gummed paper scales and stuck them all down halfway so that you could feel it. And I had the privilege of having a teacher that let me do that. But I think it's because they could see that I was exploring creativity, and that's where I went. So no, it kind of just happened. And every time I was given an opportunity to explore learning, I always had to do it creatively.
I think it's important to recognise that when there's something you really enjoy, it's probably because that's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And, there's lots of pressure to go one way or another. And I think for me, I had a really brave teacher when I was at primary school who saw me in the playground drawing a picture of a tree and was so bold that she said, Neil, you don't need to come into the next lesson. I want you to stay in the playground and finish that drawing.
Brilliant.
That is a good teacher. And that is and that literally kind of ratified for me, oh, I'm good at this. I'm an artist. I would say that the exploring and the making mistakes is more important than how good you think the outcome is. Because, as a kid, well, I speak for myself, looking at the finished thing, finished in inverted commas, because I now don't really believe in any artwork ever being finished. But anyway.
That's another story.
A long one. I would look at the finished work and I would say, oh, I'm not happy with that. So advice to my younger self is that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The question is, what did you learn by making it? If you're the kind of person who gets upset that something doesn't look exactly like you wanted it to look, you probably need to say, okay, actually the way it looks is the way it wanted to look. Yeah. And I need to get used to that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, expectations can be very limiting, actually.
I didn't know that when I was at school.
No. Ideas are actually really easy. They're everywhere.
People often ask us this.
Yeah, it's a good question.
And it is a good question, but my goodness,
it's not. Yeah, well, I mean, the answer is you get ideas because you are already looking at everything. I get ideas because I am consuming the world around me. I absorb it. I'm interested in the natural world. My sister once said, I love you, Jono, because all you ever do is look at the detail of things. She said, if I give you a leaf, you'll look at the leaf for like an hour and tell me loads of things about it. I think that's it. I'm always interested in looking at the minutiae of things and understanding things and people as well and place.
It's pretty cool.
They're
the
everywhere.
Only thing you need to deal with is the fact that, as Jono said, there'll be more ideas than you can make.
Yeah.
So that can be frustrating in itself.
Yeah.
But ideas are great. Ideas are, in a sense, a piece of art on their own.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, for me, I love watching movies. So that's a place where I'm inspired, and that triggers thoughts and ideas. Music as well is a place that I mine for things, and it's the tools for that are just investigation, exploring, and pondering. I think the most important thing that you need to give is time for that.
Everything that you do in your life is research for your art. So that includes getting dressed, making your bed, travelling on the bus. It's impossible to have an experience and not have it feed your work. Because if you think about it, everything you make has come from your mind, and your mind is full of your experiences. So the research for being an artist is living.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, we don't get a day off, do we?
We don't get a day off. Favourite piece of work, Jono? What do you think?
Oh,
briefly.
Oh well, I would say I love Tapier. Tapier is Spanish artist.
Oh, I meant favourite piece of work that you've made.
Oh, that I've made.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you've started.
Sure, man.
Well, they can look up Tapier.
Yeah, we'll look up Tapier. I love it. Exploration of materials, very interesting. And the favourite piece that we've made,
yes,
is a piece called Transformation. You can look that up on our website. And I love it because it took 2 days to make, and we hadn't planned to make it at all.
And it's really interesting because I would add the second favourite or equal favourite is a piece called The Gathering. Again, you can look it up on our website. Also, we built that in what, 2 days?
Yeah, that's 2 days. Yeah.
So
and both really the lowest budget projects. Like
So
Transformation was no budget.
the key to this is spontaneity. So
Yeah.
both of those pieces that we really enjoyed are pieces that we made very quickly, and they were kind of impromptu. So there's a lesson in that, which is that, you know, if you're struggling with an idea or you don't know how to do something, just spontaneously do anything,
Yeah.
and you might make something that you really like, because that's our experience.
I'd like to work with more artisans and make work with materials that aren't traditionally seen as art materials. So cheese was not on my radar as an art material, but I do see it as a material that I would use now in the future. And I'd love to, work with someone else in another artisanal way. So that's...
Yeah, we've had this conversation about the idea that actually, if the artist collaborates with someone who's not an artist, but is a craftsperson, the outcome of that collaboration is both craft and art. And so we're really interested in those collaborations. And we have learned that through the people of Bolton.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.